Hi folks, my name is Mark Nelson. Sorry I'm not here tonight at back to school night. I'm actually taking my son off to college. I'm actually on my way to Boston right now. Something all of you will be doing in the next few years, I'm sure, with your kids as they head off to school. Starting off, welcome. This is IM3, Integrated Math 3. Your kids are with me this year. Integrated 3 completes the Integrated Math series here at Folsom High School, and it gets through all of the standards that are required for kids to get into four-year colleges. So Integrated Math 3 is a requirement to go to four-year colleges for any major. If kids don't do it here in high school, then they need to do it junior college before they transfer on to a four-year school. So IM3 is not required for high school graduation, but it is required to get into a four-year college. So that's hopefully why your kids are taking the class, on top of having a love of math, maybe. Couple things. Again, my name is Mark Nelson. I've been teaching here. It's my 17th year at Folsom High School. I'm the math department chair. We take a lot of pride in what we do here at Folsom High School. It's not always perfect, but our results for most kids are pretty good. Our standards are pretty high. And hopefully your kids will have that experience this year of learning some mathematics, having a good experience with it, and then being prepared to move on to either the next math class or on into wherever they're going after Integrated Math 3. A few things just wanted to share tonight. First off, this class, IM3 with me this year, we are going to be piloting some new materials for adoption for next year. We're in our 5th year of having our current adoption. It's through Carnegie Learning. We've had a tough time with Carnegie Learning. We've had to adapt a lot, create a lot of our own materials because what was adopted didn't work that great, we thought, here at Folsom High School. So we've done a lot out on our own, along with the Carnegie materials. But this year we're going to be piloting, which means trying out 3 other publishers, and we'll be doing that over the course of the next 3 months. And all that means is as we learn stuff, we're going to be using different materials than the other classes. So starting next Tuesday, we'll be doing a unit on polynomial functions, and we'll be using a different company called Springboard. We'll be using their materials for the next few weeks. And then after that, we'll be using a publisher called Big Ideas, and then later on a publisher called Envision. So your kids, we're going to be learning the same stuff as the other classes, just we'll be using slightly different materials. Tomorrow your kids are going to come home with a letter explaining this, because we'll be asking for their feedback and your feedback if you have any positive or negative things to say regarding these new programs versus what we currently have. So that's where we're headed. It's pilot. It's going to be good. The kids are going to end up in the same place or a better place than the other classes. But again, the materials don't make the class. The instruction, the interaction in classroom, the students' work, all that contributes to student success more than the textbook we use, or the lack of the textbook that we use. So just getting that out there. So a few things, nuts and bolts of our class. Kids, we have an assignment every day. It's important as we practice our stuff every day. Kids, have them 4 days a week, so there's 4 assignments a week. A way that you can track this is over here on the wall. I've got what you can see with your kids. It's called an assignment sheet. It lists every one of their assignments. These are assignments all the way through tomorrow so far. And then I sign them off the next day whether they tried their homework or not. Homework is effort, okay? Did they try it all? They get credit for their homework, okay? It's 15% of their overall grade, so it's not that big of a percentage of their overall grade because their tests and quizzes and final exam drive their grade because we want to know how well they master it. But we want them to try to start out. So try and then check your answers and come back and ask for assistance the next day. That's how we start every class. After a little review, we then ask questions about problems the night before so kids can get help. All right, so daily assignments, and that assignment sheet is a way for you to quickly check your assignments. Can I have a couple minutes? Thank you. Sorry about that. And then got a little distracted there. And then we can stay on top of that. Daily assignments. There we go. So we stay on top of that. And then we have quizzes once a week. So that's where I check to see how they're doing. Did they learn from their mistakes on their homework so that they're getting better? So each week there's a quiz, and then every few weeks there's a larger test. So this week we had our first test after our first quiz last week, and students learned from their quiz. The students didn't do so hot on a lot of students didn't do so hot on their first quiz as they were doing their homework, but they weren't checking it. And I think they've learned now that, hey, we do our homework, we have to make sure we're doing it right, so then we do it better on our quiz, which then means on our test we're better prepared for it. So that's kind of the stepping stone here, baby steps on day one, day assignments, and then we learn from that and prepare for our weekly quiz, and then those pile up for our larger assessments. And then going beyond that, our final exam is over a third of their grade, and that's when we're supposed to know stuff, is at the end of the semester. So then we build up towards the final exam, which is 35% of their overall grade. What else we got here? So things that I'm doing to help your kids succeed. I'm trying to make the class as engaging as possible. For some kids, they love this stuff. They love the problems, and then they're easy to engage. The other kids, sometimes it's, well, I have to take this to go to college, so I'm going to do what I need to do and do the best I can and get through it. Well, I'm trying to work with those kids as well. If it doesn't come around the first time, as long as they're trying, things are going to improve. Okay, I'm available in class every day to start with. I'm available pause 2 times a week. I'm available after school Monday and Tuesday every week. And then if kids need me other days, we just set up an appointment. I can see them just about any time after school. I'm here to help your kid. And then along with the development of daily homework try, build towards a, quote, formative assessment or their quiz at the end of the week, give everybody feedback on where they're at, and then we learn from that and we develop and get better on the test. And then the test, well, we do well, we don't do well, we keep learning from that. Tomorrow, kids are going to get their first test back and they're assigned test corrections so that any problem they miss on the test, they need to fix it. And they have a week to fix it. So if they don't know how to fix it on their own, they can come and see me outside of class during pause or after school, and I'll help them fix it so we can learn from our mistakes, because each test builds upon the prior test. Roughly a quarter of each test has material. A quarter of the test is material from prior tests. So it's always building. And then we're prepared for our final exam, which is when we're supposed to know everything, and that's at the end. So I try to make it as best I can for kids' success. That's my job. That's what I love to do. And hopefully your kids are going to buy into that. So on the kids' part, they really need to buy into this being for them. They're older now. This is a college prep class. This isn't a get out of high school class. So they really need to start understanding that this learning is for them, and they need to take ownership of their own learning. Okay, and ways to do that is in class they need to be engaged, or encourage your kids to be engaged, ask questions, stay on top of things, and pause. Pause is them making the effort to get extra help. Again, buying into their own education. After school, that's the kid coming in and seeing me on their own time, and I'm here for them, okay? Tutors are okay, but that's you. I mean, that's you providing extra assistance, which is fine, but the kids need to understand that they need to take ownership of their own learning at this point, okay? They aren't little kids anymore. Tutoring's great, okay? I still think I'm the best tutor, and I'm free, or I'm already paid for, I guess. Okay, so encourage your kids to see me at pause or after school. That's what I'm here for, and it's hard for them. A lot of these kids, they still feel there's a stigma there, and we're going to try to break down that wall this year so that they feel that they can speak up, that I'm here to help them, that their teacher's here to support them, and they can be successful from wherever their performance was in the past. If a kid ever needs feels like you need extra materials or resources, Google search, easiest thing to do. What's a topic? Type it in. There's lots of stuff on the internet. If kids need help, want more materials, I'll be happy to help with them. These things that we're piloting this year, there will probably be some online resources that kids can use. But again, the best resource is them engaged in class, working with their peers and working with me. That's where learning happens. Okay. So that's about it. I mean, everything else was in the course expectations that you read earlier in the year. I'm sure you read. It's also on my website if you need to review them. I'm available to talk to you and your kids, have a conference with you and your kids anytime. Okay, it starts with an email. My email is marknelson, MarkNelson, @fcusd.org. and I try to get back to you within 24 hours. So I do my best to communicate. Classroom needs, we can always use, and if you feel that you can donate this to the classroom, we can always use tissues, hand sanitizer, and whiteboard pens. I try to use the whiteboards a lot in class, individual whiteboards for kids. So if you can donate that'd be terrific. Anyway, if you got any questions, please give me an email. I'll get back to you. Hope the year's off to a good start, and I'm looking forward to a great rest of the year for both you and your kid. Anyway, it's going to be a good year, a challenging year, but a good year. So if you have any issues or questions, just contact me and I'll get back to you. Thank you. And again, I'm sorry I'm not here tonight, but hopefully you can understand. I'm pretty excited to be getting my son off to college. So thanks a lot. Look forward to working with your kids and you throughout the year.